My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the USA themed series on Transport Fever 2 on the Northeast Corridor version 2.0 map. That is available on the Steam Workshop for all to have a look at and have a play along with if you so wish. So this is the station I put down at New Jersey. And if you remember, the plan is we're going to use this to serve the Bayway refinery and the fuel refinery. So that's the oil refinery and the fuel refinery that are nestled in the middle of this rather residential area. We've got Edison, Newark, Jersey City, and then obviously just over the river we have New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, Yonkers, and so on. And the plan was, as I may have discussed in the previous episode, to start using these and getting some of the oil or the fuel that they provide taken up towards the town of Boston at the very eastern end of our map. So as you can see, I have made a start. For example, we now have a station at the refinery by Edison Oil Well. And then we have a track that connects into the New Jersey freight yard, and this took me quite a lot of faffing about with because obviously it's very, very tight for space here, and we had to find a way to get this track to come in relatively cleanly, and this is a solution that I came up with. Likewise, on the escape, or the exit, not escape from New Jersey, on the exit from the freight yard at New Jersey, I had to do the same again because we have this road here going into Jersey itself, and then we have all this marshland in the area, so putting a straight track wasn't as conducive or straightforward as it ordinarily would be. So as you can see, we've got this rather low slung viaduct with a little bit of earthworks here that crosses through all of this marshland and swampland before heading out into the wilderness, and this is as far as we've got to. So we have still got a very long way to go before we get towards our existing line, which is, as it stands, as far as a quarry at Hartford, that is Portland Brownstone Quarries. So yes, we've got a fair old distance to go, and I think it's going to cost us a heck of a lot of money to get this connected. As you can see, it's got a massive distance to cover. It's going to be a very, very long haul service. Before we do crack on with that, however, I just want to show you a few changes that I believe were done off camera. So this train, which now collects the stone and then eventually collects the bricks, you can see it's been extended and it has been double headed, and these are using the American 440s. So both of the trains on this line have now had their consists extended, and they are now both double headed trains. We can see the one just heading back here now. As it stands, that does not make us much money at all. In fact, it makes us quite a bit of a loss. So we are going to have to take a look at that pretty quickly, and I think the solution here might be to have two separate lines. So we'll have one just taking stone to the brickworks by Springfield, and then a second line that takes the bricks on in towards Worcester. And I might even change that immediately. So if we go to this train here, I have paused it so nothing else is going to change. Oh, we've actually got 3 trains on here. This train here, we're going to just have it run on a new line. So the first thing we're going to do is just edit the train. So we're going to drop off the 3 flat cars from the rear of the consist and replace them with 3 gondolas. Like that. So it's keeping the same consist length there or thereabouts, so it's the same length in terms of the amount of wagons, but now it's not a mixed consist. And then what we're going to do is set up a new line, which primarily or solely runs between Portland Brownstone Quarries and the Springfield Brickworks, and that is going to be taking nothing but the stone, obviously. So let's just get that set up. So you're loading stone, and then you don't unload anything at the quarry. At the brickworks you don't load anything, and then you're just unloading stone. And this is going to be RC, rail cargo, and this is stone freight, and this is Hartford. We could just call it Connecticut. I believe Connecticut, is that how you spell it? Or is it like that? No, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to have to double check that spelling, and I will change it if it's wrong, but I believe that's right. While I check, let me just waffle on in the background. So then once this has been set up, what we need to do as well is amend the other 2 trains and change the overall line for this bricks production line. And there is a C there. I was right. Well, not there. It's not. It's there. I believe that's... Let me just double, triple check that. So yes, the other 2 trains that are currently on the bricks production line do need to be modified as well. And the line itself needs to be amended so it no longer goes to the quarry over here by Hartford. So yeah, that's all good. That's all correct. That's now set up nicely. So this one, we can drop off this stop here at Portland Brownstone. We can get rid of that. You're not coming down here anymore. You're only going here. And then you're going to turn around and head on out. And what we're going to do now is change this to full load all. Wait as long as you need. And you are only loading bricks. And there you're just unloading the bricks. So that's all set up and fine. And we'll call this the Bricks Freight. But we'll keep the 2 states, Connecticut to Massachusetts, because that's not changed. Okay, that's all good. We have a problem with train number 4, which I'm guessing is this one. Yeah, it is. If we do a stop go, there, that's now sorted it out. In fact, we'll send it back to Portland Brownstone Quarries. What are you doing? What's your problem? Have I changed the wrong train? Oh, I need to assign it to the new line. Of course I do. There we go. Yep, that's good. So the next thing we need to do then is the 2 remaining trains, which is train 5 and train 3. We need to amend those 2 so they don't have the gondolas. They're just purely flat car with side stakes. And again, we'll beef it out to 11. So the number of wagons won't change. But it's no longer a mixed mode consist. So what's that? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we'll just quickly do the same with this one here. None of them have any stone on them at the moment, so we're not going to lose out on any money. The only problem we're going to have is this one is going to be heading to Worcester with a partial load, so it's not going to make as much as it ordinarily would do. But that's fine just for the first run that it's doing. The other thing it might be worth considering is adding a second platform in here, and to do that we're probably going to need to borrow some money. So let's borrow up to, yeah, I think might even need more than that. As you can see, I've really had to take out some extra loans to extend these trains and start the track laying, which is not something I like to do, but it is part of the game, so if you've got to do it, then you've got to do it. Right, now that that's done, what we can also do is this line here, adjust it ever so slightly and have it run a little bit straighter, like so, and then have this line connecting to the entrance to the tunnel just there. And then what we're going to need is somewhere around here is a crossing point so that it can get onto the other platform, because it's now going to start using the new platform we've just put onto the station. This wants to be one way, like that, and they should all be nice and happy with their lot in life, especially when we do this and drop you. Oh, we need to put the platform down as well. Of course we do. What an idiot. So let's configure that. Platforms, cargo platforms. Just put the 4 of those down, and now we can drop you onto, sorry, number 1 onto terminal 2, and everybody's happy. And we'll see what that does for the financial output of this line. It should now be a little better. Still got scope for delivering more bricks, so that shouldn't be a problem in terms of these having to wait around for the production to pick up. There we go. This should be nice and profitable. In fact, we might need 2 trains on this line, but we can address that a little bit later on. What I'm going to do now is just go and take out, say, we might take this to about 16-17 million, and that should give us enough to get these overall can go up to 15. I thought I'd extended that to, oh no, that's right, yep, an extra, yeah, 'cause you can ordinarily get 10 in the early game, So we've now got our maximum loan, so hopefully 4.5 million is going to be enough to do what we need to do, which is get this line all the way down towards Newark. So which way do we want to go? We've got plenty of open space here, but I might come down this edge because over here we've got some terrain to deal with. As we can see, it's not excessive, but it's there. Whereas if we come down here, logic dictates it should be a little bit flatter because we're a little bit closer to the coast, but not necessarily the case, but that's what I'm going to go with. There, we have a connection. So it's a bloody long connection, bloody long line as we can see, but it is what it is. Why are you not oh, you're still picking up stone. Okay. So we might be able to get away with dropping a consist off of this, which we will do now. And we'll just have the 10. There we go. I'm not sure if we need to take one off of these trains, and let's just actually see now what sort of financial performance they give us once it's made its next delivery. As we can see, it is quite slow, but it is going up a gradient on this stretch here. We are pressing on through the eras, so we should start getting a little bit more powerful trains shortly, which is going to make everything a lot easier for us. So this one hasn't, well, I don't think it's even made a full delivery yet, so these numbers as it stand aren't a true representation, hopefully, of what the line or how the line is going to perform for us. We're going to have to wait for them to make a few deliveries and to bed in nicely before we jump to any conclusions. Okay, so we're now starting to overfill this platform, as we can see. So let's hope we can afford to put in a couple of the cargo buildings just to boost their capacity. Let's have a look. That has increased it, but we don't know what to. And I'm going to go ahead and say we'll need more delivery vehicles now on this. And we'll go for... We'll start off with 4. We'll just double them up from 2 to 4. See how that performs. And then if we still need to add more, which I think we are going to, then we shall do that in a few moments. So this train per delivery is going to make us, I think it made about 1 million there. It's hard to tell. I don't think it had made a delivery yet, so 1.3 million maybe. This passing loop, as we can see here, is now not spaced adequately, so we need to adjust that. So we'll do it now. Obviously we'll not connect this bit in yet until this train has got onto the correct side of the tracks, which it now has, like that. The trains will continue to run on in the background, of course, until we finish off this passing loop, and I think we'll take it to there. Let's have a look actually. Now let's take it on a little further. We'll have a nice long passing loop here. We've got plenty of money now to pay for this, so there's no reason why we shouldn't, apart from of course the increased maintenance costs of the infrastructure or the additional infrastructure, but there you go. And we'll have that there, and then we'll have a set of signals here. Who is complaining and why are they doing it? Let's have a look. Train number 3, what's your problem? You've gone to the wrong platform, that's your bloody problem. You should be on platform. Why have you gone to terminal? Why have you gone to that one there? Exactly. Why have you done that? You should have come down here. No path. Okay, yes. You can't get back onto there, can you? Right. Let's give that a diamond, which we can't do. That's great. Right, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to swing him around as soon as his back end has cleared the switch. So that'll be now. Get off there. You can't go back on there now. Hopefully that was just a one-off, because it's the first time they've had to come back and use different platforms, but we shall see what happens with those. Why have you got a full load of bricks there? And why did you not... I've just got very confused here. Have I assigned the wrong trains? No, you're gondola, so you're fine. Did you not drop off your delivery just a few moments ago? I thought you had, because you overfilled. Oh, is it you? Not sure what's happened there, but hopefully that's the end of it. So this train should have made a couple of deliveries by now, and it seems like it's going to be more profitable. Well, yes, if you look at how much it's costing here since I extended the consist, and then look at here, if you draw the line across, this will be profitable, so that's great. Okay, so you've run out of... No, you haven't run out of stone. You're just not producing quickly enough. Well, we'll see. We'll give him a few years to bed in and to balance out, and we'll see how things go down here. Okay. How many vehicles do I have on that line? Let's just have a look at our train lines. It is just the two. Yep. And they're both full. Right, never mind. So let's go back to... Oh, we have another American 440. But yes, as I was saying, let's go back to this. I'm going to need more still, so I'm going to take another two. Let's just have a look at this American 440. I think it is just a counterpart to this one here. And I don't think it actually provides anything different apart from the livery. No, it provides something that's a lot different. Much more power. Also costs over twice as much. Much better tractive effort, but the top speed isn't quite there. However, the power and the tractive effort, I think, more than offset that. But it's the running cost which might be a problem. Let's just do a side-by-side using the two new variants of the American 440. So, oh yeah, look at that. It's sacrificing 1 mile an hour at its top speed on a flat gradient, and it's getting there a lot faster, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna use these ones, so it's gonna cost more to maintain, but so be it. 2.4 million, we can afford that, so we can't afford to do all of our lines at the moment. The next one we will do will be the line that runs up towards Boston. But what we need to do is we need to get the lines set up and the trains running on our fuel oil or fuel production line over here. That's running in New Jersey. So let's first of all set up the line. Now the handy thing is with this one, we don't need to worry about having a mixed consist, because the crude, the refined, the crude and the fuel use the same wagons, of course, so we're good to go straight off the bat here. However, we are going to need to expand our track capacity down here and along here. Yes, maybe, and maybe even consider a bypass or a pass-through platform here. So I think what we'll do for now is just get this train running between Edison and New Jersey, just taking the crude oil. And we'll only have one. We haven't done any passing loops on any of this yet, so we can't have more than one anyway. And we're going to have you come with a full load and wait as long as that needs. And you are loading your crude oil. And then down here, we'll have you just unload the crude, load nothing for the time being, and then eventually, of course, we'll change that when we're in a financial position to be able to make all the required adjustments to our existing infrastructure. So this is our crude haulage, crude freight, and this is, I'm gonna say, all of this would be within the boundaries of New Jersey. So we're going to just call that New Jersey. There we go. We might be able to afford a small train. No, we probably wouldn't, to be fair. Let's just have a look how our lines are doing now. Well, that's a lot better. They're all profitable. Nice and profitable. Although this might decrease a little with the increased maintenance costs on the locomotives. I think we're definitely... No, again, it's not a shortage of stone that's causing the hold up here. It is just the production. Do you know what? I think we might be able to get rid of one of the trains. Or, better yet, convert it into a crude oil haulage train. But I don't think we need the top power 440 because it's only a short run. So do you know what? I'm going to sell it. There we go. So we're going to sell that. That's get us 4.5 million. So it's freed up a good bit of funds. So let's go now to our depot over here. And as I said, I think we can get away with the early American 440 for this. And I think we could probably get away with just one train. I don't think, or one engine, one loco. I don't think we need to double head this, because all it's going to be doing is just ticking away in the background until we're in such a position when we can expand all of our existing infrastructure to allow that train to run all the way up to Boston without causing any issues with our existing lines. So if we just go for something like that, what's that, 6 wagons? How about 5 wagons? We'll go 5. I've meant to colour the tank cars in, but I didn't, so I'll do that later. You're now ready to go. So if we head all the way down to New Jersey, we should be able to assign this train to this line. And as I said, all it's going to do is tick away in the background, shipping the crude oil down here and then running back for some more and doing nothing else. Eventually, like I said, we will have it run all the way up to Boston, all the way up to Massachusetts, and we're going to need quite a few trains for that just because of the length of the journey between New Jersey and Massachusetts. We can't rely on just one because this will be sat here forever. It's going to take an age and a day to traverse this huge line all the way up here. As I also alluded to, we probably want to go ahead and improve the capacity on these lines here, so it shouldn't interfere or hold anything else up. We'll also need an extra platform, of course, at the Boston Freight Exchange, which we'll put down now in anticipation, so at least that's done. So we'll do that. There we go. Could we squeeze in another couple of these? I know they only hold 10, but just to flesh it out a little, could we get anything else in there a little bit smaller? No, we can't. It's just those. So an extra one of those just to slightly increase the capacity. And then what we'd also need to have is a truck station here that's ready to ship the fuel into Boston as it arrives. So let's set that up as well. And I'm going to put this in this area here. And we want it as long as possible. And if I put it side on like that, and then connect it straight into this road here. I'm not going to do the exit just yet. In fact, no, I will, because we can have it exit down here and then head into Boston. That would make sense. So let's give it the exit point on this side now, ready to go. And as I said, this can just sweep down here nicely. There we go. That has a connection to the station, so that's great. And we'll just rename this to Boston Freight Exchange. There's only one S in Boston. There we go. Boston Freight Exchange and Boston Freight Exchange. We would need a drop-off point in Boston for the fuel, which is all up here, so that's nicely centered. well, not centered, but it's nicely grouped. So you can go up there. And then what we'd have you do is we could... No, don't do that. We would have this connect into there like that. So we have a bit of a crossroads. And we'd have the trucks come out this way, down here, past the tool factory, and then in this way here. So to make sure they do that, they're going to need a waypoint. And ideally, we would have them come this way, just so, I know this will expand eventually, but so as it stands, they're not trundling straight through the middle of the residential district in Boston, which is going to obviously have a negative impact on the noise pollution. So we're going Boston Freight Exchange up to here, to the drop-off. You're coming back down that way anyway, that's brilliant, but we'll put the waypoint in anyway, just so if these roads change around in the future, you don't opt for a different route, because this is the way we do want you going. You are going to be orange, even though you're going to be sat here idle for quite a while. And we do want you to have a full load, and you're only taking fuel oil. And then that's what you're unloading there. So this is T for truck, and this is fuel delivery, and this is Boston. There we go. A road depot will come in handy, of course, so we'll give you one of those. That's a tram depot. And we'll put this here, so then it's part of the freight exchange itself. Buy just one, just to get you activated, colour you orange, and then you're going to sit here forever for now, but it is what it is. And then this, in fact, I will just double track this whole lot now. It does seem as though we're making decent money. Obviously, notwithstanding the crude freight train that has just been set up and is probably still miles away from New Jersey, so we can disregard that one. I'm just going to pause it because I know there is a train incoming in the next few seconds, just leaving Boston. So I want to do that. In fact, there's that train there. We need to give you a crossover point then, don't we? Just there to get you on the right tracks. And then we're going to need a diamond here as well. So that should be more than good enough. There we go. Let's get our signal in place. You can now carry on as normal, and then once you've passed that, we can get rid of that. We don't need it. It was just to get you on the right tracks. And then we'll double up that signal just there. And we'll have one more set of signals in this cutting just here. Like so. And then we'll have one that stops just before there. And then, as I tend to do, we'll have a two-way signal on either track just before the diamond, like so. So then from this point onwards, we also want to double track all of this. So let's go from where the switch is, which is just there, and lay in a nice parallel track here. Ah, that's awkward. Never mind. I did not realise I'd done that in it. In fact, I remember doing it now, but I'd forgotten then that I put that track there in anticipation for this. You see, just here. So we'll come off from this side, and then we'll just rework that little switch that we were looking at a few moments ago, where we were going to be building out from on the opposite side. So this is what we're doing here then. And then we shall get rid of this side. They're going to complain for a few seconds, but they'll soon get over it. And we'll double that signal up there. That should be two-way, so let's just change it. There we go. Sure, it should be one-way. It is two-way, that's better. And then we'll have another set of signals over here. And you're now going to need a diamond. So we'll put a diamond over here, which is well away from the station, and there is a reason for that. That's because the stations are quite short at the minute, and they're probably going to get elongated in the future. There, everybody's now happy once again. Two-way signals there and there. Yep. And one-way signal just there. and that'll act as a clearing signal for the diamond. In fact, no, we'll have a short one around about there. So that's that done. This is not done, so we might want to now double track all of this. So let's again just quickly pause it, and we're just going to have to redo this because it's all on the wrong sides. That should be far enough to make it look seamless. So back to the tracks, doubled up the whole way. You're now coming into this side, and then you're coming into the opposite side, just like so. Wonderful. And again, we need a diamond over here now. And once again, you're going to set it away from the station, so that way we've got the room to expand the station capacity, or the station length, without having to rework our diamonds. Restart the game. Everybody's happy with their lot in life. Put our one-way signals in there. We'll have another set just here by the tunnel, and then double up that one. This is all double tracked. This is all double tracked as well already. We don't have a diamond here. We do need one here though, so we're gonna have to sort that out. However, if you remember when I tried to put it in a few moments ago, it was having none of it. So let's try that again. That's better. So carry on. Let's get rid of you. What do we have here? The Texas 440 and the B&O RR440. I think that's Baltimore and something, obviously railroad. B&O. I can't. I think I've seen it before somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. But I think it's Baltimore and something. Anyway, so new locomotives. That's good. So anyway, this is all now double tracked. This is all double tracked. So this is all ready. Do we want to pass through at this station here? There's nothing else I don't think we're going to use this station for. So I'm going to say let's do it. Let's double track. Although that would then mean we're going to have to be very careful about how much we can elongate our station by. So I'm tempted to leave it as it is. Yeah, they can just pass through whichever way. It's fine. If they have to wait a little while a train's unloading or being loaded up, then so be it. Let's just double track this stretch now. Some of it is already double tracked from when we have 3 trains coming down here before we split the lines. So we'll just connect into that where we'd already started. And then what we'll do is we'll just change this around like this and go as far as there. This will yes, this is going to need more platforms in use eventually, because we're going to want the food and the bricks coming in here to be delivered into Hartford. So we need to keep an eye on that. And we would it use anything else at this station? I don't think so. So here we're going to need 3 active platforms. So for now, we'll just add the second, the extra platform that we're eventually going to need, even though it's not going to be utilised at this moment. We can just connect you in like that. And then here, we can just do this for now. We don't need to have to double track this entire run all the way down to New Jersey, thankfully. We can get away with doing some of it. And again, we'll put the diamond in at a fair distance from the station, just to allow us the space to elongate the platforms in the future. That's that, that's that. Who's not happy? You're not happy. You're on the right side of the tracks at least, but you're not happy because you don't have a way to deal with this here because there's no diamond. So let's give you one. On the corner. Hopefully this will work first time. Wonderful. Now you're happy. Let's restart the game. Get the signalling sorted out. Where's our diamond? Here it is. Wow, you really are set back from the station. That's fine. There you go. You probably don't need that one anymore. And we'll just push that back to there. Yeah, that's all decently spaced or reasonably spaced. You can go there. Your 2 ways are going there. This is all good. So now, in theory, there is nothing stopping us getting this train all the way, this one here, all the way up to Boston. You're not making any money. Probably because you got... Why aren't you making any money? Why are you not picking up crude oil? As specifically instructed. Did that... Oh, you've... Oh, this is your first... My God, that really took a time to get down here, didn't it? That's your first delivery. That's what's wrong there. Right. Okay, now, before we do anything else, what we're probably going to need to do here is have a truck station just here. Like that. And an unload point here. And then you can turn around and come back. Yeah, that's fine. Because the refined oil, I don't believe it will automatically transfer into there. We need to actually take it manually, which is a bit odd. But we just need to do that. Not that. We certainly don't need to do that. And you want fully loaded. We don't need to bring anything back with us, but we just need to get the refined oil that they produce over there. So do that. And you're loading refined, unloading refined, and that's it. And this is T for truck, and this is refined, or the Phillips, should we call it the Phillips Bayway Shunt? And we'll just put the state in as well, NJ. We don't put New Jersey because it's going to, you know, the line name would be far too long. So that's what we're going to do there. We'll need a depot over here as well. And handily, this depot will be able to serve all these cities in the nearby area, Edison, Newark and New Jersey. Buy a vehicle. I'll say we'll have 3 of these. You're going to be refined oil, which is the darker of the oils. So there you go. Like that. So they should now... There we go. See, the refined oil is being populated to take over to here, because these can take the fuel. So that means now we can have you take the fuel all the way up to Boston, and we have everything in place ready for that. So let's manage this line. What you're going to do now is it a 2? Yes, so you can't take a full load because it takes 2 to 1 and then 1 to 1. So if we take, for example, 40 crude oil, we'll only get 20 fuel oil out. So we can't set a full load on this one. Can we? I can't remember if you can actually set a half load, however. I think, can you not do something like this? Where you do full load any. Load that, but only load 50%. Not that, you're loading that, 50%. That should now take as much fuel as the refined oil, the crude oil can eventually give, I think. I have done this a few times before, but it's been quite a while since I've done this, so this might not work out as intended, but we shall see. And then after the New Jersey freight yard, my word, you're going on an epic journey all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts. You're doing fine there, you're doing fine. Yeah, you might have to wait while something's loading or unloading, but that's fine. Likewise here, you may have to wait while something gets loaded or unloaded. Here, you won't have to on your way through, but you may have to on your way back. But that's fine. And then up here, you're not loading anything, but you are unloading fuel oil. And then we can rename this to fuel production. And this is New Jersey to Massachusetts. Is that right? Oh, is it MT? MA. Yes, I do believe it's MA. So this is a bloody epic old line. You can now be orange. We can start the game. And what we can do is start putting in some passing loops along this bit so we can have multiple trains. And now that we're going long haul, we can even think about changing the locomotive that's running this line. Because we've got the Texas one and the B&O railway line locomotive, which we can have a look at. Okay, we need to. That's right. You have to do it from the opposite direction if you want the full 75. There you go. There's one passing loop. We'll have another one over here. These are not necessarily going to be spaced out the best, but at least they're there. It means we could have multiple trains running. I mean, we could anyway, but they'd only be able to pass one another at the eastern end, at the Massachusetts and the Connecticut end of our line, which is certainly not ideal. So this is certainly more ideal, even if it's not quite as ideal as it absolutely should be, if you follow what I'm saying. So a couple of passing loops along the way. In fact, let's go one more on this side. That can go longer. There you go. Run you out. And then just before the bridge, can we get in at full speed? Oh, not quite, but 72 is pretty good. Let's just give them some signals now, just so they're going the right way. There we go. And where's our next one? Oh, this is on. Oh, that's quite a short one. It should be fine. There. The next one is all the way up here. This map is massive. And I think it just appears more massive because it's so open and it's so flat. Well, flat-ish. Relatively. So it just adds to the impression, the overall size impression that the map gives. Anyway, there we go. And then you want to be going that way? No, do your own thing there. What are you doing there? Are you doing the right thing anyway? Oh, you are, so that's fine. Right, so let's head back to the loco. Now, this should then... Nah, it's got an odd number, so that's made it nice and awkward, hasn't it? Let's see how much fuel you're going to get. Ideally, you should... Well, we need to give you an even number. Well, we wanted to change the train anyway, didn't we? Or at least have a look. So here we go. So that's the one we're using on the brick line. That's got quite a bit less power and tractive effort, but it is going a heck of a distance. So I might even go for that one, the B&O R&R. Or the B&O RR, I should say. And then what we want to do is actually give you an extra one of them. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say we could even double that and have 12 of them. And then double head the train just because of the distance. Let's do it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, one of the steel industries is closing down. ArcelorMittal. It's a shame when the named industries close, you know, because obviously the map author put a lot of time in making sure they get the correct name. There you go. We're not able to activate all of them quickly enough, unfortunately. On easy mode you probably can, but there you go. So that's going to cost us 2 million. Let's see, did you get roughly a half load of fuel? Yeah, close enough. Close enough. But is your stopping time only 3 minutes? Is that why you've gone? Let's double check. Yes. So we'll set that to full and we'll see what it does next time around. And then can we afford to duplicate you? We can. Wonderful. So here comes the second train. And I think that's where we'll leave it for today. Things are looking pretty rosy overall. We need to... Obviously we can disregard this one. We'll have to keep an eye on this and see how it performs just because of the sheer distances that are going to be involved in the run on that one. but that's fine. And I think what we'll do is, we might not take the entire journey. I know we probably can at 4 times acceleration. We'll ride on this new loco. We'll have a quick look at it first. Yeah, it's quite a nice looking train. And in fact, let's get down. Can we get down a bit lower? I can't remember my key bindings for doing this. That's awkward. Let's just get back on the front. We'll keep it at 4 times just because of the distance, and we'll run all the way up to Boston. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode and you're enjoying the series. It's nice to be in the USA, and I must say, so far, bloody loving this map. Really good. It's such attention to detail. When you go to the detail, you know, the level of detail of naming a lot of the industries that you put down, that is just wonderful. So full marks to the map author for that one. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please let me know, of course. Any future expansion suggestions as well, obviously drop them down below as well. And if you played this map, or if you decide to play this map off the back of this series, as presumptuous as that is, I do apologise. Then, you know, let me know what you find out. You know, what's your strategy is, where did you start, and what's working for you. But for now, all that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.